I was running the Chichester Half Marathon, and at that time I could barely run 100 yards. And I started to believe those voices that told me that it could never be done. But I couldn't run a half marathon. And on one run, I looked up at that control tower. Now I've seen the control tower hundreds of times, but this time was different. This time, it was as if it was giving me the instructions and the orders to not give in. So here we are, 4 years on. I made a promise to that control tower that I would do everything in my power to save it, to make it something. And we have formed the Community Interest Company with Dara and Neil, the other two directors.
I'm Dara Casey. I'm one of the directors at Tangmere Tower Community Interest Company. I think my ambition for the tower is to give it a new lease of life, make sure that it adds something to the community within which it sits. And that community could be just the local residents, but also actually it's the military, it's the aviation community more further afield.
We have our partners on board from the University of Chichester.
My name is Dr. Andrew Smith. I'm a senior lecturer in contemporary history and politics up at the University of Chichester. One of the reasons I'm here today is to really support the Save Tangmere Tower campaign. I've worked a lot with the Tangmere Military Aviation Museum. I think it's a wonderful cause trying to bring together this idea of heritage, looking at the way that Chichester played this role in supporting this world historical moment at D-Day.
From Tangmere Military Aviation Museum, from Sussex Police.
My name's Dudley Hooley and I'm the director of the Tangmere Military Aviation Museum, and we have been associated with the Save the Tower campaign as advisors, and when it's successful we're going to help them to produce the air traffic control element on top of the tower.
My name's Darryl Holter. I work for Sussex Police. I'm a heritage crime officer, and I've been helping out Matt and the team from my side of the business, essentially, looking at or helping out these guys to look after Tangmere Tower, to raise an awareness of the tower, why it's there, why it's important for now and for future generations. The tower itself, when I think about it as a heritage asset, has a huge story to tell. And if we can, well, if I can help these guys with, the preservation and supporting them best I can, then hopefully future generations will have the opportunity to understand it, interpret, enjoy it, and really take it on board as, well, something they all own.
We have the support of our local Member of Parliament, Gillian Keegan, and her husband Michael.
Hello, I'm Gillian Keegan. I'm the Member of Parliament for Chichester. I'm here today because about 2 years ago, Matt got in touch with me and told me about this fabulous project to save Tangmere Tower. And what he wanted to do was to save one of the last pieces of architecture that's related to World War II in Tangmere and turn that into a community centre. And we have lots of development in Tangmere, and we thought it would be wonderful to try and meld the old and the history and the tradition of Tangmere, also with the new families that are joining Tangmere. I think it's a great project, and I'm fully behind supporting it, and I'm here to support Matt and the team.
We have the support of our local mayor, Martin Bell.
When I was the former chairman of Chichester District Council, along with one of our county councillors, Simon Oakley, the county councillor for Tangmere, we were instrumental in making sure that the tower was listed, so that at least as a listed building it wasn't going to be knocked down. What we weren't able to do was to actually start a campaign to renovate the tower properly, and that's why we were delighted when Matt came forward and with a campaign, which I've been very proud to support. I've written letters as mayor in support of it. I think it's such an historic building. I think I've said in the past that for many of the secret agents, particularly Frenchmen and women, that flew out of Tangmere on secret missions, never to return, it was their last view. Probably that building was their last sighting of a building in Britain. It could have been their last view. So in very many ways, it's just such a historic building.
And the guest of honour, His Grace the Duke of Richmond and Gordon. I'm so pleased to have you all here this evening. We've also had a number of letters of support from lots of really important people, including Clarence House, and we've spoken to representatives of His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, who is really interested in this project. But most crucially, we have built upon the Grade 2 listed status of this building, and we have placed it on the Heritage at Risk Register. And we continue to be inspired by control towers up and down this country that have been turned into something again. You only have to look at former RAF West Hampton, even Greenham Common. We're talking about half-term activities for children. We're talking about photo exhibits. We're talking about cinema. We're talking about cafes. We're talking about things that bind people together, that identify with where they live. The people who dined in this room in 1944 had to meet that challenge with their ambition. And tonight, we reaffirm that ambition to this challenge. The Tangmere Control Tower is the last remaining derelict structure of World War II in Tangmere. I have lived in that village. I have represented that village. I know people who live in Tangmere. James and Linda live in Tangmere. They, I hope, believe as much as I do.
That's why we're here, man.
Yeah. That control tower could be something again.
My name is James Stanbridge. I'm a parish councillor on Tangmere Parish Council, and here we are at Eisenhower dinner raising funds for the control tower at Tangmere. I've grew up in Chichester, moved away, and now my family growing up in Tangmere, and anything that restores some of that sense of history and pride around what just an amazing place for history in Chichester. So that's why we're here.
It's my belief that pilots, when they saw that control tower, they knew they were home. And I believe fundamentally we can light that beacon once again. And so it is my pleasure to exclusively announce this evening that as of yesterday lunchtime, we turned from an idea to a concept into reality. We have formally submitted the planning application to turn that building into something once again. That has been a lot of hard work, mainly due to our directors Dara Casey and our architect Edward Rutherford.
I think for us, at the Community Interest Company, I mean, we've engaged with the public a number of times. We were very kindly invited to Goodwood Revival last year. We've also been to the local parish councils at Winter Fair. And these sorts of events are really important for us to touch base with people, really understand, the progress we've made and really where we are aiming to go next. Making sure that we're bringing people with us, I think, is really important as well, and that can be the organisations that we've been working with, Sussex Police, the university, the local museum, and the parish council, who've been instrumental in helping us get to this point. But it's about making sure that we take people with us, and I think that's why this event is really important for us.
I'm proud to be part of this event today, really happy to be engaging with the public, really happy to be trying to spread this message about the important role of Chichester and Tangmere in supporting this really world historical moment. A defining moment in the Second World War, a defining moment for Britain, a defining moment for the world. That really brought together all of the Allied nations in support of D-Day.
I think that awareness is extremely important. Most people know that there's a museum at Tangmere, but I'm always surprised at how few people realise just what an important part of all of our lives and how different it would have been if it wasn't for the Air Force and their contribution at Tangmere. So I want my kids to be fully aware of that. I want as many people locally to know just what an important part of their history is there at Tangmere, and to come and visit.
And it turns to me to thank lots of people. Paul Beaver, 601 Squadron.
So I'm Paul Beaver, I'm an honorary group captain in 601 Squadron. It's a Tangmere squadron during the Battle of Britain, famous for its tenacity and its leadership skills, and because it had the first American casualty in the Second World War. So I'm here because this is such a worthwhile thing to do, to create a community space, a heritage space, and to restore a piece of our wonderful airfield, I suppose you would say, architecture. I'm really looking forward to working with the team and getting this place going. It'll be really good. And this dinner is just the first of many things we'll do.
We have a close relationship with 601 Squadron from the museum, with Billy Fisk. His original tombstone is in our memorial garden at the museum, and he is one of the great heroes of RAF Tangmere operating there with 601 Squadron. That's why the museum's there, is to honour the young men and women who lived, fought and died at RAF Tangmere. And to be part of this, as an ex-military person, is very exciting. Meeting some amazing people from the United States and from the Royal Air Force here tonight, who are all associated with 601 Squadron one way or another, because of sadness in Billy, or because they are related in some way to the squadron here.
The hotel, Leah, Sally, who are on here, all of your help, all the businesses, organisations and people that have donated toward prizes towards this raffle, but for all of you being here tonight, thank you. And if you can help, or if you know people that can, please help us get to where we want to be. And so, even though I don't have a drink, I would like to say, ask everyone to be upstanding and make a toast to those that died in this room in 1944, to those who have served the armed forces and those who continue to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the armed forces.
The armed forces.
The armed forces. Thank you very much indeed.